to session number 5 of our digital marketing training sessions. In this session, we will be looking at content marketing. Now, content marketing can be used in many different ways. The whole idea of content marketing is using content to market yourself. So if you think of content, content can be anything from blog posts to podcasts to videos, anything along those lines can be seen as content. Now, I'm not here saying that you need to start a blog, you need to start a podcast, you need to, make daily vlogs or anything like that. But I'm here to give you the basics, especially when it comes to video creation. Because if you see the way that basically every single social media app is starting to develop, they're all becoming video based, right? TikTok has really paved the way for platforms like YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and really even Twitter to become more and more video based. So in this session, what we're going to be looking at are content marketing. We're going to be looking at video creation. We're going to be looking at vertical video format, which is basically just when you record a video with your phone like this, not like this, but like this. We're going to be taking a quick look at TikTok, and then we're going to be looking at Instagram Reels as well. We started talking about Instagram Reels previously, but now I wanted to get into more of the how-tos when it comes to Instagram Reels. So again, content marketing is all about using content to market yourself, right? We talked about some different ways that you can utilize social media pages to market yourself. We've looked at Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising, Google advertising. But content marketing is all about trying to get people to come to you for, trying to learn about the real estate industry, trying to learn about what's happening in the city of London over a weekend, right? Basically, any type of content that you can put together, again, especially video, is a form of content marketing. So the question is, where do I even start with content marketing? And for the purpose of this lesson's primarily going to be talking about video creation. So where do I even start to be able to make videos? Like that, I probably need to hire a videographer. It's going to cost me like $1,000 to get, a 30-second promotional video done. And if I ever want to do a house tour, then that's going to be probably another $1,000. That's not where you start. You can do all of that on your own. And what we're going to do in today's lesson is I'm going to show you a couple of videos, talk you through how to actually, create videos of your properties that you're listing, or maybe videos of yourself that you can use in your content marketing strategies. So where you start is through using asset collection and then downloading specific software. So when it comes to asset collection, this can be in the form of videos, this can be in the form of photos, and this can be in the form of music. And for software, two easy to use, user-friendly video editing platforms that I've used previously that I really like are iMovie and Adobe Premiere Rush. So we'll talk about those a little bit later, but iMovie is mainly used by anybody with an Apple product, and Adobe Premiere Rush is sort of like the Windows version of iMovie. So we'll talk about those, and I'll show you some examples of how to create some real estate videos using those two platforms in a little bit. So you might think that in order to capture these great photos and videos, that you need a really high quality camera, right? But realistically, smartphone cameras are amazing. Basically, any smartphone from like 2019 and newer takes absolutely breathtaking photos. So here are a pair of images. One's taken with a Google Pixel 3, which, keep in mind, Google Pixel phones are now on Google Pixel 6. So this is 3 versions ago. And the other one is taken with a Sony a7R III, which is like one of those pretty heavy duty DSLR cameras. So my question is, can you tell which one was taken using a phone? First, it's worth noting that both images are quite impressive for this night scene, right? We expect that from a full frame camera, but it's impressive. It's an impressive achievement for a smartphone, regardless of whichever one was taken by the smartphone, right? Now, looking closer, we notice some loss of detail in the water in the image on the left, right? If you look at the image on the right, you can see the waves, or you can see the ripples in the water. You can see, a more clear landscape, right? It's not as distorted as the one on the left, right? Now, the one on the left is actually taken from that big Sony DSLR camera, and the one on the right is taken from a Pixel 3. So it just goes to show that you can do this stuff on your phone. Like, if you have a half decent quality phone, you can use the back camera on your phone to capture any image or to capture pretty much any video that you want, right? Again, the photo on the left doesn't look as nearly as impressive as the photo on the right, but the photo on the left was taken using like a $500 camera, and the photo on the right was taken using somebody's smartphone, right? So the cameras on smartphones are absolutely incredible. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to start using your smartphone to capturing this kind of content. Now, again, you might think that you have to pay a videographer hundreds or maybe even upwards of like $1,000+ to take videos of properties. But a lot of the videos that you see that are, relatively straightforward, that walk through a property, that sort of show you what the property looks like from the lens of somebody walking through it, is actually likely going to be done with a smartphone. So this is a great video that showcases how you can take some of these really, really great videos using just your smartphone.
So how do you shoot professional looking real estate or property tour videos using nothing but your phone? Well, in this video, I've got 10 handheld camera moves for you that will instantly take your footage to the next level. It's coming up. Hey everyone, Steve here from Learn Online Video, and today I've got 10 handheld camera moves for you using nothing but a smartphone. Camera moves that will instantly give your footage that high-end premium look and make any property stand out. But with that out of the way, let's jump straight into this tutorial with camera move number 1. The establisher. Okay, camera move number 1 is the establishing shot. Really important, this one, as it instantly sets the scene. Find some foreground, frame your shot, and then reveal it. I went for a slider shot with this one, but an up movement or crane shot works just as well. Okay, next up is the room establisher. Super easy, this one. Frame your shot, walk forwards. Move at a nice consistent pace and then slow your footage down by 50%. This creates super smooth movements, perfect for any room. Okay, the tilt down, push forward. A little bit more advanced, this one. Start with your camera pointing up and tilt down whilst walking forwards. Also, remember, with all of these camera movements, try to adhere to the ninja walk technique. Heel toe, knees slightly bent. This will ensure nice, smooth movements. If any of these shots feel a little long, you can always add a speed ramp. This really grabs your audience's attention and increases the production value of your videos. Okay, number 4, the door frame push through. This is an absolute classic and works in any property. Simply push your camera through a door frame and into a room. No need to walk with this shot, simply lean in using your upper body and extend your arms. This shot is perfect if you just want a quick shot of each room. Also, you can take this shot to the next level by tilting down whilst leaning forwards. This shot works great in tight spaces because it allows you to see more of the room. The room slider. Don't worry, you don't need a slider with this one, but we are going to replicate that slider look. Frame your shot. This works best at waist height in kitchen areas, and move your camera horizontally as smoothly as you can. This shot can really help give your footage that premium feel, as it's something usually associated with film and television. Use foreground with this shot to help accentuate your movement. Bonus tip, make it up. Take this shot here, for example. In order to do this room justice, I felt I needed to include the mezzanine level, the huge windows letting in all this natural light, and show off the sleeping area all in one shot. So I just made it up. I'm not really sure what this maneuver is. Push forward, pan, reveal, crane. The point is, you might just need to make it up, experiment with tricky rooms, and see what works best. The pullback reveal. Okay, we're getting a little bit more creative now, but this is about as far as you want to push it when it comes to property tour videos. Frame your focal point, tilt down whilst walking backwards, keeping nice and steady. Use this shot to help reveal different areas in the property and create a bit more intrigue in your shots. Again, you don't need to walk with this shot, try just using your arms to create the movement. The tilt down crane. A bit more advanced this one, but it's worth learning. We're tilting, we're leaning, we're sliding, we're combining multiple camera movements to create a shot that isn't seen often and can really add to the production value of your video. The worktop slider. Most properties will have a worktop, and if it's got an island, even better. Take advantage of this by using that worktop as a way of stabilizing your footage. Simply slide your camera along the surface and create super smooth shots that are a perfect way to show off any features in the kitchen. The hallway speed ramp. We deliberately want to shoot a long shot for this, and it's important to keep the camera as steady as possible throughout. We're going to push forward down the hallway and then turn into one of the rooms. Keep your movement smooth and consistent. Then in the edit, start in real time and speed ramp down the hallway and play at 50% speed as you enter the room. This is a great way to give your viewer a better feel for the property's layout, whilst also giving your footage that next level professional edge. Okay, I've saved the best for last, the pro finish. This is one of my all-time favorite ways to end a property tour video. Crouch down with your camera low to the ground, use foreground, slowly stand up and reach as high as you can, holding your shot at the end for a minimum of 5 seconds. This shot creates a beautiful crane-like movement, rising up to reveal the heart of the property, whilst also leaving enough time at the end for you to add property information and contact details. So those were 10 camera moves as individual clips, but now let's edit this footage together with music, sound effects, and graphics to see what results we get.
So now I want to talk about Creative Commons again. So we talked about Creative Commons in one of the earlier sessions, specifically when looking at photos, and it applies to video production as well. So when you're looking to create a video, maybe you want to have like an opening slide, or maybe you want to have a song, right, that you want to have as part of your video. Now, here's where Creative Commons comes in. If you want to use like a popular song, say you want to use like a Taylor Swift song or something like that for your video, then you have to pay royalty fees for it, or you have to pay usage fees for it. when I was with the YMCA, we wanted to put this big advertisement together where we looked into getting a Taylor Swift song on the end of or during one of our videos, and it was going to cost us like $40,000 for like a minute-long commercial that we were just going to run online. So might not necessarily have the budget for that, but what you can do is through YouTube, there are some great ways that you can get background music that's free to use, that is copyright free, that will totally work for whatever you're trying to do, right? Might not be, the super popular top 40 songs, but it'll still create a great audio backdrop for your video. So, question is, where do I get this background music? Well, if you go onto YouTube and you search, maybe I want like lighthearted music, or maybe I want inspiring music, or maybe I want some fun music, right? Whatever you're looking for, search for that in the YouTube search bar. Then if you look right underneath the YouTube search bar, there should be a filters tab. So if you click on the filters tab, it'll result in these 5 columns that come up. If you look at the 4th column under features, there's a tab that says Creative Commons. So if you click on Creative Commons and then you search for your type of music again, say again, I'm going to search for lighthearted music, then any video that comes up on YouTube is free to use and there's no copyright on it. To be extra safe, if you search lighthearted music, no copyright, that'll just kind of make it double sure that you won't have any issues with that. But that is the place that I like to get my background music when I'm putting any kind of video together. And again, it should be free to use. Read the description on the video. Once you find a song or a sound that you like, then read through the description, see if there's any sort of requirements on it. But if you search whatever music type you want, no copyrights, free to use, and go through the filters and filter Creative Commons, then you should have the ability to use that background music. So you can then, once you've figured out the music that you like, you can then download that song, or you can download that YouTube video. So there's 2 sites that I like to use. You can use savefrom.net, or there's a music downloader, which is ytmp3.cc. These can be a little bit challenging to use. So if you do have any questions from either of these, please let me know, because I don't want you downloading anything that you shouldn't necessarily be downloading. But again, this is a great way that you can use this background music and download it as either a video file or an audio file that you can start using when you are editing your videos. And again, we'll talk about that in a little bit. So I get this question all the time. People always ask me, so Ryan, I see like realtors or brands even using popular music on Instagram Reels or TikTok. Are they paying like $40,000 for this? So the answer is a little bit tricky. So as of right now, when I'm recording this video, and with that being said, it can change at any moment, you are allowed to use any songs that are available on Instagram or TikTok for organic content. So just as a reminder, we've talked about it in a couple of lessons here. Organic content is basically any free content. So if you record yourself talking about a house, or if you even create, you know, a video of one of your properties, and you post it without any background sound, then you can select a song that, again, is embedded on Instagram or TikTok if it is just a free post. That's organic content. But if you are doing any sort of paid advertising, whether that's you know, Facebook advertising or YouTube-based advertising or anything, then that is when you need to use the Creative Commons-based music, right? So there is Creative Commons music also available on Meta, but I like to use YouTube. It's a greater music library for this sort of stuff. So again, as of right now, any organic content that you post on Instagram or TikTok, you can use a song that's embedded within the platform, but you can't take that song out of the platform and then use it to create a video for paid advertising. So you have to use it within the app in and of itself. So when it comes to creating videos, there's two different kinds of video format. There's horizontal based videos and there's vertical based videos. And when I say horizontal based videos, I mean that's when you record a video like this using your phone. Or there's vertical video, which is when you look at your video like this on your phone, right? So there's two different ways you can do it. Again, horizontal or vertical. Now, when it comes to the video format, horizontal based videos and vertical based videos perform better on specific platforms. So horizontal based videos perform better on YouTube, Facebook posts, Instagram posts, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And vertical video format performs better on Facebook stories, Instagram stories, Instagram reels, and TikTok. If you use a horizontally based video on an Instagram reel or an Instagram story, it's not going to perform as well as if you made a vertical video format. So if you are recording like a walkthrough of a property, or if you're recording a promo video for yourself using your smartphone, it's probably going to be best to shoot it in both formats, right? So depending on whatever kind of marketing you're planning on using it for. So make sure that you film it both horizontally so that you can use it for YouTube and Facebook posts and Instagram posts, and vertically so that you can use it for Facebook and Instagram stories, Instagram reels, and TikTok as well. Now here are two of the movie editing or video editing tools that I have liked to use previously. And these are great for just like basic video editing and splicing clips together with some music and maybe some transitions in between. It's nothing too advanced at all. And again, these are iMovie and Adobe Premiere Rush. So again, iMovie comes with Mac products, and Adobe Premiere Rush can be downloaded. So if you search on Google for just Adobe Premiere Rush, then there should be a free download for it. You just have to click on Start Now, and it should download the Adobe Premiere Rush for you. If you get to the Adobe products page and you have to buy Premiere Rush, you're at the wrong stage. Look around, click on just Start Now, and then that should be the free download. So what I want to do is I want to watch these two videos because they show you how you can make a slideshow on iMovie and then how to edit a real estate video using Adobe Premiere Rush. And again, keep in mind that if you want to do a slideshow on Adobe Premiere Rush, it's basically the same as it would be on iMovie. Or if you want to do more of a video as what's in the Premiere Rush tutorial, then it's pretty much the same way looking through iMovie as well. So we'll watch these two videos. We'll come back and I'll show you an example of what that could look like in our current market.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to take still images and turn it into a video slideshow using iMovie. Stay tuned. All right, so here we are in iMovie. The first thing you want to do is you want to come over here to Create New and click. And what you want to do then is click Movie. All right. Once you do, you will notice that we have our media bin right here. We have our preview pane right here. And down here we have what is called our timeline. Okay, the first thing we want to do is we want to go up here to iMovie and click Preferences. Okay, and what this is going to do, this is going to allow us to determine how long we want each one of these images to be on the timeline, basically how many seconds. So I've got here 3 seconds. Transition, which I'll show you in a minute, is going to be 1 second. So it will actually make each clip 2 seconds. We need to take that into account, and I'll show you what I mean here in just a bit. So with that selected, we want to go over here, click the Import Media button. Okay, let me just go ahead and bring this up where you can see it. And right here is the folder. Okay, I'm going to twirl it down. And right here you'll see a folder called MLS. Now these are the images that have been optimized when we load them up to the MLS and they feed out to Zillow, Trulia, or any of those. It's going to look its best. But for the movie, we're going to use the original high-res images here in this Done folder. So I'm going to twirl it down, click the first one, scroll all the way to the bottom, hold the Shift key, click the last one, and then come over here and click Import Selected. Okay, now what we have here are all of our images. Now, what I suggest is trying to keep your video to no longer than about 1:30 at the most, which means if you have 24, 30, 36 photos, you may want to pick and choose which ones you want in the slideshow. For example, a small half bath, I may leave out, or something that is not really a money shot. Okay, so in order to put all of these down in the timeline, we're going to come down here. We're going to click and hold and come back and come up and select all of these. All of these are highlighted in yellow. Now we're going to press the E key on our keyboard, and there they are. iMovie has brought them down into our timeline. Okay, now this is where you may want to decide which order you want these in. I always like to start with 1 or 2 front shots, okay, and then after that maybe move to one where you're walking in and it kind of goes in order as if somebody was walking into the front door. How would they see it? Kind of like telling a story. So what you can do is just grab one of these and then bring it over and then just drop it. And then you can go through and put them in the order that you want. And if you want to get rid of one, let's say I have this shot and this shot. Do I really want both of them? Probably not. So I would get rid of this one. Just highlight it by pressing on it. Press delete, and it's gone. And once you've gone through and done all of this, you can look at this time code here. The time on the left is where your cursor or your playhead currently is. The one on the right is the overall length. So if I put right here and click, I'm minute 1, 8 seconds. Okay? And the overall video is 2:03. If I get rid of another one, you'll see it changes. Now we're kind of just cutting this down and getting rid of some of the stuff. Like here's one of the attic, here's another one of the attic. I think this one shows the overall space better, so I'll just get rid of this one. And there we go. Okay, so let's say you've gone through and you've gotten rid of all the shots that you don't want, then you have them in order. Let's just play and see what it looks like. Pretty boring. All right. Another thing you'll notice is that we have some black bars up here. If you or your photographer have taken images in a 4:3 aspect ratio or something that's square, you're going to have these black bars because video is in a 16:9 aspect ratio. And so in the video, we don't want these black bars showing. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, hold down our button on our mouse, highlight all of these clips, and with them highlighted, we're going to come up here to this crop icon. We're going to press it, and we're going to see Fit Crop to Fill Ken Burns. We're going to click Crop to Fill, and when we do, you'll see what happens. And then click out, and there we go. It has taken all the images and filled the entire screen. Now we don't have any black bars. So now that we have it where they're fitting the screen, you'll notice that it just kind of hard cuts between each one. So this is where we want to add a transition. If we go up here, we'll see My Media, Audio, Titles, Backgrounds, and Transitions. So we'll click on Transitions, and you'll see we have quite a few to choose from. Honestly, the cross dissolve kind of works the best. You know, you don't want anything too fancy. You don't want a bunch of turning blocks or weird page curls or anything like that. So what you can do is you come down here again, hold your mouse button down, select all of them. And with them selected, and you'll know because they're highlighted in yellow, we'll come over here to the cross dissolve and double click. Now it has added in a transition between each shot. So now it looks something like this. Looks a little better. Now, remember earlier when I showed you how to set the preferences to where each clip is 3 seconds and it shows the transition is 1 second? Well, now each one of these, as you'll see here, is only 2 seconds and the transition is 1 second. Now you can go in there and you can adjust them if you want, but just for ease of this tutorial, we're just going to leave it as is. So now let's go to the next step and let's add some branding. So let's say we have a logo. What we can do then is I'll go down here to my Finder and we'll go to the folder where I have the logo. We've got this PNG. So we're going to click and drag it onto the timeline, and there it is. Get out of here. All right, the first thing you'll notice is it's taking up the whole screen. We don't want that. So with this selected, highlighted in yellow, we'll come up here and instead of cutaway, we'll drop down and we'll select Picture in Picture. Now it is brought in and shows the logo with the transparent background. And with this, we can come over here on screen and we can drag it to where we want it. So we want to put it right here. And if we want to resize it, we'll just grab this little blue dot, bring it down some, and then just kind of get it like we want. And once we have it there, what we can do is we can just drag this out to the duration of the video. Boom. All right, now if we go back to the beginning and play it, we'll see it comes in nice and subtle. And it's there during the whole time. Okay, so now we have all our images, we have the transitions, we have our branding, but let's say we want to put something at the beginning, a little intro with the address and maybe who it's listed by. So what we'll do is we'll come over here to the beginning, we'll come up here to titles, we'll click on titles, and I really like this one here, standard. What you want to do is you want to click on it, bring it down, and put it right in the front. Okay, now when we hover over it, we'll see we have all our text. What I would do is come into each one and then modify. So what I'm going to put here is 123 Smith Street. We'll go down here to the bottom one and we'll put Foley, Alabama 36535. And we come down here, highlight, and put listed by John Doe. Okay, but we want to make this text more readable, make it look just a little bit better. So what we can do is we'll come up here and we'll select this, and we will actually bring this to about 146. Come down here and make this one, let's see, 124. Okay, you also notice that this font is different than this font. So with this highlighted, we'll see it's Avenir medium. This is Avenir Light. So let's select this and make it Avenir Light. Okay, you know what? I want to make that just a little bit smaller. Let's make it, there we go. So now when we click off, we come over here. And we have a nice little fade from the title into the movie, okay? And you could add this at the end if you wanted. You could have something like, for more information on this listing, contact, and just choose one of these other ones and just put your contact information in there. Okay, so now we have our transitions, we have our little intro, we have our logo or our branding. Now let's add some music. So what you would do is you just go over here to File, Import Media, and I already have the song within the folder, so I'm just going to click on it. I want to import. Okay, so there it is right here. You'll see that it's 2.9 minutes. Well, our project here, our video, is right at 2 minutes. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to come over here, click, and then take this handle on the right. And as soon as you see these arrows, click and bring it back to where you see it go to right at about 2 minutes. Okay, and then with that, press E on your keyboard and it brings it down. Okay, now it's just a little bit longer, but I'll show you why. So here we have the beginning, and let's just play. Fades in real subtle. Okay, well, we want to fade out at the end, so we can take and hover over this soundtrack. You'll see this little circle up here, and we just kind of click and drag it just a little bit. And now let's see what it sounds like. And like I said, the audio track's longer, so if you wanted to have some text at the end, all you can do is just hover over and pull it back out a little bit. Okay, now we're done, and now we want to export. What you're going to do is you're going to come up here to the top right, this little icon. You're going to click share, and you can't see it because it's off screen, but it says, I'll bring it down so you can see, export file. That's what you want to click. Click. We want to leave it at 1080, quality high, compress faster, or you can do best, better quality, and it'll look a little bit better, but it's going to be a larger file size. Then we'll click next, and we want to put it in the same folder. Click save, and you'll see this little circle which will start to fill up, and when it's completely full, your movie has been exported. You can go back in the folder and watch it. Okay, and it's just about done, and there we go. Now we go back into our folder. We'll see it right here. Let's open it up and play. There you go. Now you can take this video, put it on YouTube, put it on Facebook, and repurpose your still images from your listing. If you have old listings that have already sold, create videos. Just put them up, build up your YouTube channel, populate them on your Facebook page, so when people land there, they can see, oh, wow, I'm creating some good videos. It's just another good way to take content that you already have and leverage the power of video by taking your images and creating a video slideshow out of them.
How's it going, guys? A couple of you guys at Agent Development asked me to put together a quick tutorial for Adobe Premiere Rush. I'm going to do that right now. I tried to keep it below 15 minutes. I think I failed, so I'm going to leave timestamps here so you can just fast forward to the places in the video that you want to see. The reason why I chose this program is because it works so good with PC, Mac, Android, as well as iOS devices. It looks exactly the same on every device. It's very affordable and it's insanely easy to use. So let's dive right into the tutorial. All right, guys, let's get into Adobe Premiere Rush. Gonna click on the icon over here. This whole interface looks exactly the same on a Windows computer as it does on this Mac. Nothing is different. We're going to select create a new project. Here you can see all the other projects that I created in the past. This is the one I did for agent development. Create new project. We're going to get right into the training folder where I have my sample clips. And then the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to select the clips I need for the video. Now keep in mind, this is just a sample video. I am not actually creating a video right now that I'm going to be using anytime soon. I am just using clips that I shot in the past for listings, just to kind of show you how to edit using the software. So here's the timeline. It's a magnetic timeline. So you see as I drag this, all the clips stick together. That makes for a very, very simple edit. Here's my main A-roll. I use these clips. These are drone shots kind of as B-roll. So this is the stuff that I'm just going to use to enhance the A-roll, which is this particular clip here at the beginning. The first thing I like to do is I like to scrub these clips and make sure that there is no wasted stuff at the beginning and end of the clip. So as you can see here, I'm kind of prepping. I'm getting ready. I'm going to cut that off here. That's where I start talking. All right. So right about there is where I start talking. Down here on your left-hand side are the tools that you need to make the edit. This top one here is for snipping the clips. Here you have a tool for making a duplicate clip. So a good example is if I had text in this clip and I wanted it to show up at the beginning and the end, I could duplicate that clip. Now I have two of the same clips, okay? But I don't want that. Here is where we delete the parts of the clip that we cut off and that we no longer want. And down here, if I was to click this, it expands the audio track here below the clip. What this does is it gives me the opportunity to delete, or I should say edit the audio separate from editing the actual track. Then this last thing down here, this is what's going to separate a program like this from a mobile version of like iMovie. If you click Control Tracks, it adds tracks to the top and bottom of your movie. All these tracks up top are video tracks. The tracks on the bottom are audio tracks. And so that's going to come into play here in a second. So let's go ahead and scrub this and delete the parts that we don't want. If you look down here on the audio part of the track, I can see right here where the audio spikes up, so I know where I'm going to start talking. Make this monitor a little smaller so you guys can see. Here I go. This is where I want to make my first cut. So I'm just going to select the scissors and then select the part that I don't want, and then come down to the trash can and press delete. You can also just press delete on the keyboard. Come to the end of the clip and take a look. And here's where I'm going to shut off the camera. I don't want that in the video. And take a look. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and snip this again and delete that part of it. All right, here's my drone footage. The first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through the clips and make sure that I only have the footage that I'm actually going to use, or at least that I would actually use. And then I'll make some minor changes as we're editing. I'll probably use it to about there. I'll do the same here. Cut there. Cut there. Here's a nice shot of the outside of the house. Cut. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to drag these B-roll clips up to a layer that's on top of the main A-roll clip. So anything that's on the top clip is what you're going to see. So I'm going to go ahead and lay these over me speaking. I just need to see where I should put these. So I'm going to play this back real quick. Hey guys, my name is Corey Melville with Edina Realty, and welcome to my new listing. Okay, so right here's where I'm mentioning the listing, so I'm going to use this clip here. And welcome to my new listing at 3335 Hazel Trail Unit A here in Woodbury, Minnesota. So I want to cut it here because I'm getting back into talking about the neighborhood. This home-style end unit features 3 bedrooms plus a loft upstairs, 3 bathrooms, and a 2-car garage. Also, the property is located in the amazing Bailey's Arbor community, which features amenities like 2 pools, 2 walking trails with scenic views, and there's also a city. All right, so I was trying to get to the part where I talk about the walking trails with scenic views. Don't want those connected. Pools, 2 play areas for kids. We have 7 miles of walking trails with scenic views. So I'm going to delete the part on that I didn't want. 2 pools, 2 play areas for kids. We have 7 miles. That to be in a better spot. 2 play areas for kids. We have 7 miles of walking trails with scenic views. So all I'm doing here is I'm just cutting these clips down a little bit shorter. And there's also a city park located within the neighborhood that offers basketball. All right. There's a clip of the basketball and tennis. In the neighborhood that offers basketball and tennis. So this particular clip I think is really slow. So in addition to these editing tools we have in the bottom left, there's actually a whole nother set of tools in the top right. We have one for adding titles. This one's for adding transitions. This is for manipulating the color or putting a filter on. And this is the one I'm looking for. I want to change the speed of this clip. So I'm going to make it a little faster. Of course, that makes the clip a little smaller too. And there's also a city park located within the neighborhood that offers basketball. I like it right about there. That offers basketball and tennis. Let's head inside. I think that I need it a little bit sooner. Within the neighborhood. Within the neighborhood. Put it right there. And there's also a city park located within the neighborhood that offers basketball and tennis. Let's head inside and take a look. All right, I gotta cut that a little sooner. And tennis. Gotta click the clip, click scissors to snip it, and then delete it. So there you go. Now, I like to add the Edina Realty logo to the video as well as my information at the end. So I'm going to go back up to the left-hand side here where there's a plus sign. Go to Add Media. Here I'm going to click on those 2 clips that I need. One's of the Edina Realty logo, one is of my personal information. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to click Add. There it is, it's added both of those clips. I'm now going to drag the Edina Realty logo up to the top. As you can see, it's massive in size. So I'm going to go back over here to my, in the right hand side here, to my crop and rotate. And here I'm going to scale this down. So coming over to scale, it's smaller. Come up here to the top and you can change the position of it. Put it in the corner. And then I also like to change the opacity. So this is at 100%. I tend to use about 40%, I think looks pretty good. So that's that. And then I got to stretch this out so it's the full length of the movie. All right. So now that I added my personal information at the end, take a look. I don't like the hard break. So what I'd like to do is I'd like it to transition slowly into this clip. So I'm going to go up here to my transitions tab in the upper right. And I like to use dip to black. Now cross dissolve is a very common one. If I was to use cross dissolve, this is what it would look like. Take a look. So I'm going to use dip to black because it's a black background. I like how that looks. And take a look. There you have it. Now I'm going to add a dip to black at the very end of the clip as well. So once it gets to the end, it dips back out to the black. All right, last thing I really need to do here is, well, one of the last things is I'm going to add a music track. I always like to do that. Gonna snip the music right at the end of the actual video. And then I'm going to add a dip to black at the end of the music track as well. So now the audio is going to fade out at the end. The audio is always going to be too loud at the beginning.
Hey guys, my name is Corey Melville with Edina Realty.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on the audio track, double click, and then up here in the upper right, I can change the clip volume. So I'm going to figure out a volume that works.
Hey guys, my name is Corey Melville with Edina Realty, and welcome to my new listing at 3335 Hazel Trail Unit A here in Woodbury, Minnesota. At just under 2,000 square feet, this row home style end unit features
Somewhere in
3
here.
bedrooms plus a loft upstairs, 3 bathrooms, and a 2-car garage. Also, the property is located in the amazing Bailey's Arbor community,
I'm going to use something.
which features amenities like
I'm going to use something between 25 and 28 here. I'll probably go a little bit more quiet than this. Use 26. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a title to this. So I'm going to go back to the upper right hand corner here where it says titles. I'm going to click that, and here's all the Adobe titles. I did not add these myself. These are already part of the software. I'm going to see which one of these titles. Let's see here. This one's all right. Use this one, very basic. That's where my name goes. I'm gonna go ahead and put my name in there. I'm gonna put realtor here. And of course you can barely see this because it's white and the background's white, so we can double click on the title. We can go over here. This is how you edit the stuff. Styles, edit. This is the font. You can click it, you can make it whatever you want, bold or regular. This is where you click and change the text color if you want to. I don't know, we can see what black looks like. And that looks all right. And up here we're gonna change this to black as well. Go ahead and do the whole name. And then I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the actual size of this. So I don't really like the location and the size of this. So now that I have this clip selected, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to scale this down a little bit. And then with that, I'm going to go ahead and change the location of it. So that's in a location that you can actually see it. And then I'm going to put a transition at the beginning and end so that it fades in and fades out. So I pretty much want it gone by the time it gets to this drone clip. Snip. And then we'll use a cross dissolve here. Cross dissolve at the beginning too. Let's play the whole thing.
Hey guys, my name is Corey Melville with Edina Realty, and welcome to my new listing at 3335 Hazel Trail Unit.
There you go. So another thing you can quickly do is you can come in here and manipulate the colors of the video. Now I would not use one of these filters because it's not going to look very good for a real estate video, but what you can do is you can go up to edit and you can just manipulate the exposure a little bit. Change around some of this stuff. Contrast usually makes everything look a little better. And then you got to do it also on all of your drone clips. All right, let's watch the final product real quick.
Hey guys, my name is Corey Melville with Edina Realty, and welcome to my new listing at 3335 Hazel Trail Unit A here in Woodbury, Minnesota. At just under 2,000 square feet, this row home style end unit features 3 bedrooms plus a loft upstairs, 3 bathrooms, and a 2-car garage. Also, the property is located in the amazing Bailey's Arbor community, which features amenities like 2 pools, 2 play areas for kids. We have 7 miles of walking trails with scenic views, and there's also a city park located within the neighborhood that offers basketball and tennis. Let's head inside and take a look.
So there you go. So one other thing I would always put in this video if I was doing a walkthrough video like this is I'm going to actually go inside the house, and that's actually what's going to be right here. After I say let's take a look, it's not going to cut straight to my info. So just real quick, I'm going to show you guys something that you guys can do if, say, you just wanted to shoot a quick video out in front of a house and then whip together an edit quick. We can go over here, back over to the plus sign, which is going to open this window. Go down to photos. I have a couple photos here. They're not even for this house, but they are for a similar house. And now I've just put those photos into my timeline. So as you can see, this is a 16:9 aspect ratio, and these photos are smaller. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on these photos, go over to the cropping tool, and I'm going to scale these up so they fit in the frame. I'll do the same on this next one. Now they're in the frame. Now I want to make sure that they transition nicely, so I'm going to throw a cross dissolve transition on these in between all these clips. So now you have
Take a look.
this here. But if you want to take it even a step further, if you guys remember at the beginning, I clicked this control tracks. So now, now that this is open, which I've had open the whole time, you can actually click on this little record button down here, and it's going to allow me to do a voiceover. So I've clicked on it. Now I just have to figure out kind of where I want it. Click record. It's going to give me a countdown.
Let's head inside and take a look.
Now I can start talking about the fireplace or the living room or whatever I want. And as you can see down here, it started a new audio track called voiceover.
Take a look. Now I can start talking about the fireplace or the living room or whatever I want.
This
As
is the
you can see
voiceover.
down here,
I'm going to go ahead and delete that because I don't want that in there, but that's a feature that might work well. Come up to share. I can go ahead and change this file name to whatever I want. Export it to my computer, and from there I can upload it to wherever I want. That's typically how I do because I like more control with my uploads on Facebook, but I can also upload it directly to YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. All I'd have to do is toggle these on and then sign into Facebook, and I can actually upload this video directly to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or Behance, which I don't currently use. All right, guys, there you have it. That is Adobe Premiere Rush. All right, guys, if you're still with me, I got to show you this one last trick. Let's pretend like you just edited your video on your MacBook or your laptop or whatever, and now you want to upload the video to Instagram, but the easiest way to do that is from your phone. So let me show you this. You pull out your phone, click on the Adobe Rush app, and then boom, the video that we were just editing is already in here. So I'm going to click on the video, and then let's say you want to change the orientation to line up with Instagram. All your tools are now here at the bottom of the application. You're going to want to click here on this tool, switch this to portrait mode, and as you can see now it's a different orientation, but the video does not actually fit. You're going to select the clip, you're going to go to the transform tab, and now you're going to scale this up to match the new orientation of the video. You're going to want to do that on every single one of your clips, and then you can hit export, and now you have a portrait style of the same exact video. Alright guys, I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Get out there and make some videos. I will see you guys around.
So now that we've seen how to actually create these videos, this is an example of property within our market, or at least within the market here in London. So this is a video from 353 Commissioner Street. as you can see in this video, like there's nothing all that special to how this video was recorded, right? Based on that slide or that video that showed you how to walk through a property and how to capture those images or how to capture those videos, that's how this one was made, right? That is how this video tour was done, was clearly just with somebody's camera. So when you look at this video, you might think like, wow, that's like a pretty well-produced video. But now, hopefully, you should start to see that you can start doing this stuff on your own, right? You don't have to pay someone hundreds of dollars, maybe even thousands of dollars to do a quick tour like this, especially if you have a relatively small property that you're listing, right? So I hope that throughout the last couple of slides, it's certainly inspired you to think, you know, I can do this on my own. A great way that I like to practice this is I like to create a tour video of my own home, right? Don't just wait until you have your next listing to be able to do this. Just start playing around with it at home, right? Like take a couple of those walk-in videos into your bedroom, or showcase your kitchen, or showcase, you know, any sort of feature that you would want to on your own property, and create a tour video of it, right? Maybe do it at a friend's house, maybe do it at family's house, to just start practicing, because that's what you need to do for this. It comes with practice. I have made, you know, quite a few of these kinds of videos, and if you compare it to the very first one that I've made, the first one I made was clunky, like my hands weren't steady, the music didn't line up well, and I just looked for more tips and tricks online through more YouTube videos, and now I can, you know, pretty quickly create something that's comparable to this. I didn't make this one on Commissioners Street. I'm not trying to take credit for it. This is just an example done by somebody else. But again, I just practiced using my own home. I practiced using friends' houses. I practiced using families' houses just to make that tour video, to try to do it myself, because you get much better practice, or much better with practice, I should say, if you are able to do it a bunch of times. So just try it at your own leisure, right? Try it at your own house, and feel free to send it to me, and I can give you any tips on it as well. All right, so moving over to TikTok, the number one step for TikTok is that you need to start taking dance lessons. That's totally just a joke. I don't expect anyone to go on to TikTok and start dancing and to make your real estate fortune because, you know, of any sort of dances that you've done on TikTok. But TikTok is an amazing app when it comes to brands and when it comes to people trying to market themselves. The reason is because TikTok has a way of going viral in a way that Instagram and Twitter and Facebook doesn't really have. And TikTok is absolutely the strongest content marketing platform because it is all video based, right? So you might think, how can I even start TikTok, right? Or why should I even start TikTok? You know, the people that use TikTok, they're just kids. They aren't necessarily going to be people that are going to be the age of buying houses. But that's not true. So here are some great examples of real estate agents that are using TikTok to sell homes.
Ooh, this is nice. Girl, this audience is you right here? Okay.
During the pandemic, some people found an unconventional way to search for their new home. TikTok.
Get inside, I've got a beautiful custom home to show you.
Are you looking for a 2-bedroom downtown for only $1,900 per month? Well, I'm the NYC agent, and I might have the perfect 2-bedroom for you. I get 100% of my business from TikTok. In terms of the personal leads I get and my team get, it's dozens to almost hundreds a day, especially if a video goes viral.
As a new realtor, Madison Sutton started posting her listings on TikTok in 2020 amid soaring housing prices and fierce competition.
I specialize in these off-market or, hidden treasure style apartments. So it's the coolest thing to walk into an apartment that you really didn't know what to expect. And you're just like, this is going to go viral, but this is also going to be someone's home. And it's most likely going to come from them watching this 59-second video, which again is just this mind-blowing concept that I don't think any of us could have really conceptualized a year and a half ago.
Some more experienced realtors, like Joseph Felling, moved to the platform near the start of the pandemic, when in-person house tours were a COVID risk.
I was literally on the sofa saying, I've got to pivot or I'm going to fail. So I got off my butt and I did something. I created something. I created a social media platform that I now have over 125,000 followers.
This is what $555,990 will get you in Midlothian, Texas.
Over the last year, I would say I've closed on average about 25 deals with TikTok alone. The average sale price is anywhere from $400,000 to $500,000. Majority of the people who are seeing my videos and are purchasing are relocating from major metropolitan areas such as New York, California, and Miami. I had a California buyer about 8 months ago reach out to me because he saw a video on my TikTok, and I've never met him in person. I have talked to him over the phone, and from me recording a video, he purchased the same house. So it's just able to reach the masses of people that you never thought in a million years.
After going viral on the app last year, Felling canceled all of his print ads.
Probably it took me about a week to get one of my hits. And it was something that was so stupid and so easy to, a video that I did in a small house, and it had 2 million views. So I did ones that took me hours and hours to do. But that one that took me 5 minutes was the one that went viral.
After using TikTok for just 10 months, Whiting's rapid success has allowed him to start mentoring other realtors on how to use the app for their businesses.
You never know what content is going to hit, and my advice is just to get out there and do it.
So why is TikTok good for realtors? The answer is in the platform's unique interface.
I think what TikTok is doing, or it's allowing creators like myself, is it's video. That's how you're gonna get more people's attention to actually stop versus just scrolling through the Instagram feed of photos.
This is your official guide to a very fun, very Instagrammable Friday night out in East Village. I think it really changes people's perspectives. They can picture and visualize themselves walking through, the cobblestone streets of Soho, or going up in that elevator in that high-rise building where they're just going over and seeing the New York City skyline and the sunset. And I think by providing that content, it just becomes a much more realistic possibility.
So the best way to see what is working in our industry is to follow what people are already doing, right? And I think I've talked about this a couple times throughout these sessions, is to become inspired. I won't say steal or I won't say copy, but I'll say become inspired by what other realtors are doing, right? If you see something that you really like on TikTok or on Instagram, then feel free to, change it up a little bit and use it for your market. That's a great way that I like to, I've used some other marketing ideas from some other organizations that I've liked and just changed it up a little bit, right? Again, it inspires me in the way that I do my marketing campaigns and come up with some of my marketing ideas, but I don't copy it verbatim. So see what other realtors are doing using TikTok, using Instagram Reels, using video content, and then see how you can modify it to specialize in yourself, right? Or specialize in your market. So like I said before, you might think that TikTok isn't necessarily relevant to your demographic that you're trying to appeal to. However, that's not necessarily true. Teens don't dominate TikTok. So if you look at this graph, if you're looking at sort of that younger demographic, if you're looking at sort of that 10 to 19 age, then 25% of all TikTok users are between that age. And then when you get to the 20 to 29 and 30 to 39 and 40 to 49 and 50 plus, that's what makes up the rest of TikTok. So basically, you know, the other 75% of users on TikTok are roughly going to be people that are going to be of the age to buy and sell property, right? So again, you might think that TikTok is only used by a younger demographic, but that's just not necessarily the case. So don't be afraid to start thinking about mixing in TikTok to your marketing portfolios. Now, the challenge when it comes to TikTok ads, and again, this is when I've recorded this video, this might have changed by now, is that you can't necessarily specifically target the areas that the realty firm operates in. Again, as of right now, you can only target Toronto, Hamilton, and Ottawa regions, or the province as a whole. So if you're specifically looking to market a cottage in Grand Bend or market a property in London to other people from London, then again, as of right now, TikTok doesn't necessarily let us do that. But if you are looking to advertise a listing or advertise your services across the province as a whole, then it's certainly another viable option for your digital marketing portfolio. So now I want to start getting into the technical side of TikTok ads and the vertical video format and the how-to side of it. So this is a great video on TikTok ads for beginners, on how to set up your TikTok ads account and some of the best practices.
Today, it's all about TikTok. Yep, you heard that right. I'm covering how to run ads on TikTok for beginners, which fortunately for us is pretty much everyone at this point. If you're wondering why a small business marketing channel is covering a teenager's lip syncing app, then you need to stick around for this full video because you have some learning to do. Hi, I'm Morgan with Life Marketing, the digital marketing agency that helps small businesses grow. Are you new to digital marketing, or have you found yourself doing it more for your small business lately? If you want to learn how to do digital marketing from people who have actually done it, check out our new course on Facebook ads. Our co-founder Sherman has put all of his expertise into this course, and I think you'll find it really helpful. You can learn more and sign up with links in the description box.
Hey, we just helped a small business make over $1.5 million in revenue through Facebook advertising. And guess what? After managing millions of dollars in ad spend for thousands of different small businesses, I have decided to host a free training session to show you how to do this stuff yourself. So what do you have to lose? Go ahead and click the link below to get started.
Okay, let's get into the video though, because I'm super excited to go over TikTok ads today. Can I tell you a secret? Promise that you won't tell the others. Okay, come here. TikTok is my favorite. Okay, now that we have that confession out of the way, honestly, TikTok is one of my favorite platforms, and I love it for small business because the opportunity for you to go viral is there. It's just there. Now, we've already seen a lot of small businesses make TikTok their own and use it really effectively. But as TikTok prioritizes more paid advertisers on the platform, we're going to see even more opportunity for small business. Now, TikTok may seem a little Wild West as far as marketing goes, but there is a right way and a wrong way to do ads on TikTok. If you post the same type of content and ads that you're putting on your other channels, they're probably not going to do anything on TikTok at all. So let's talk a little bit about what TikTok is and why people love it before we dive into the actual ads part. TikTok is a social media app made up of short videos posted by creators. Videos range from 15 seconds to 3 minutes long. TikTok is actually experimenting with even longer video times. They've just recently added the 3-minute length. Before, you could only do a minute-long video. If you remember the Vine days, which, rest in peace Vine, we miss you so much, TikTok is similar to Vine. The first big draw of TikTok is that videos are short. Users of the app really like the quick delivery of comedy or information that TikTok allows them to have. While the dancing and lip-syncing videos are still popular on the app, businesses and niches of all kinds have made the app their own. The reason we think TikTok works so well is because each video and the excitement of the next video gives us a little boost of serotonin, so it encourages us to keep scrolling. If you've seen this guy, then you know what I'm talking about. Another reason people love the app is because it's easy to find new content and creators. Once the algorithm gets used to you, you'll constantly see new and relevant content that just gets better over time. You have two feed options, the following and the For You page. Following shows you the latest posts and live videos from accounts that you're already following. Your For You page shows you a mix of content from new accounts and some creators that you already know and maybe have interacted with but haven't followed yet. Because it's so easy to discover new content, even small creators have a pretty good chance of going viral. Because of how the algorithm on the For You page prioritizes new content, small pages can and very often do go viral by creating the right video at the right time. If you can jump on a trending sound, hashtag, or style, then you have the potential to get really big really fast. But these trends do move extremely quickly. Now, if you do happen to have a video that goes viral, you want to do a few things. You want to make sure that you engage in the comments section as much as you can. It may be overwhelming, but get everybody on board in this case. Comment interaction is critical on TikTok. You cannot have a healthy TikTok page without it. It just does not work. You should also keep putting out content, but don't expect for the millions of views that you've just got or the hundreds of thousands or whatever it was to translate directly to every single video after that. You will very likely get extremely low views on a lot of your videos after that and then spike here and there. It's very bizarre, but you'll ride it out. And before you go viral, make sure that you've put ways for people to find you off of TikTok. For our marketing efforts, we want to move people from platforms that we don't own and control to platforms that we do own and control. So make sure that you have a link in your bio to your website or an email list or something so you can try to monetize or collect the people that are interested in you when you do go viral, if you do go viral. Another reason people love TikTok is because the communities are strong and supportive. While there are trolls on every platform, and they certainly do exist on TikTok, I found that TikTok generally is just more open and welcoming to people that are new. People on TikTok also really love new ideas. They love innovation, and they love interacting and uplifting others. Once you land on whatever talk the algorithm puts you on, those folks are likely to embrace you if you engage authentically and aren't just being mean to everybody. If you're making videos in this space, in this niche, make sure that you're explaining a little bit of who you are, you're making content that's helpful to the people there, and that you're engaging and listening to what they have to say and speaking authentically back to them. So that's all super fun for users, of course, but does TikTok work for businesses? Excellent question. I'm glad we asked it. I know a lot of small business owners that are afraid to branch out to TikTok because the app is unproven at this point. But TikTok marketing does work for small businesses. The app is a powerful platform for reaching new customers, and it's not quite as difficult to get new people or to go viral as other platforms are. However, in order to maximize this platform and the ability to go viral, you really need to know the platform and the audience really well. That means you should spend time on the platform or make sure that whoever is creating your ad, if you're using an agency or a designer or someone in-house, that they are spending time on the platform and they know how it works. Let's look at some compelling marketing statistics for TikTok that you should know about. The first is that TikTok has been downloaded more than 2 billion times. TikTok is the 7th most used social network in the world. TikTok is available in over 200 countries. In the United States alone, TikTok has over 100 million active monthly users. The majority of people use TikTok to find funny or entertaining content. And here's one of my favorite news pieces that came out of TikTok marketing. Ocean Spray earned 15 billion media impressions in less than a month without doing a single thing. And Fleetwood Mac's song Dreams returned to the top of the Billboard charts for the first time since like 1997, all because of a viral TikTok, which you may have seen actually. This video has over 35 million views. Now this was obviously created by a fan who was just having fun on his way to work, taking a drink of what he happened to have with him. This is the power of TikTok. This isn't to say that these are the same exact results that you're going to get, but it's just to illustrate what you can do on the platform. Let's look at 3 ways that you can market your business on TikTok. Now, if you're starting to stress out about making dozens of TikToks for your business every week on top of everything else that you have to do, hang on there just a second for me and slow down. There are 3 different ways that you can market your business on TikTok, so you don't have to dive full bore into content creation at the beginning. Let's cover those so that you can find a method that works for you and your business. Those methods are: create your own channel and post TikToks looking for organic growth. Now, organic here means free. You're not paying for it. The second is to work with influencers or creators who are already on the platform to promote your brand, product, service, or experience. And the third option, of course, is to pay to run ads on TikTok, which is what we'll be covering in today's video. Choosing the first method, where you create a channel and then you create TikToks and grow organically, is going to be the method that takes you the longest, probably. You do have the opportunity to go viral and change your business and your life overnight, of course, that does happen. But you need to plan for a longer term strategy here. If you want to work with influencers and other creators, I would look for nano or micro influencers. You want these people to be in the communities on the talk of your ideal audience. These people will know best the types of content that resonates with your audience and how to position your brand, product, your service, or your experience to those people. Plus, they've already built up a trusted community that they can communicate to, who will be more likely to try what you're offering. Nano and micro influencers are also usually pretty affordable, less than $500 for a lot of posts. I'm not going to cover those two methods in detail since we're focusing on just paid advertising for this video, but if you'd like me to do a video on those, leave a comment that says more in-depth TikTok tutorials, please. Okay, let's get into paid TikTok ads for beginners in 2021. So now that you know what the platform is and why people like to use it, let's get into running paid ads. I'll show you how to create an ad account and walk you around the business manager of TikTok. I'll also show you how to check on how your ad is doing. If you have questions about anything that I cover in today's video, let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to help. Let's create your ad account first. Like on other advertising platforms, you'll need to create an ad account before you can actually run any ads on TikTok. Fortunately, the process is pretty quick and simple. Let me walk you through it. You'll visit this URL, which you can find in the description box below as well, and enter your information in this form, or click any of the Get Started or Create an Account buttons that you see on the screen. Next, you'll confirm your email or phone number by entering the security code that they send to you. After that, you'll automatically be taken to the login screen. Yours may log you in automatically, like mine did here. Then you'll complete this flow, which I'll show you next. Now, I zipped on through the terms of service here because we don't have ages and ages to go over it together in fine detail, but I recommend looking through this so that you know what they're going to take from you. Next, you'll enter your business URL, enter your billing information here. The business URL is a place that you want people to go when they click on your ad, so keep that in mind when you're choosing that. Select automatic or manual payments. Automatic payments are nice if you're planning to run continual ads or you think you're going to do a lot of advertising on the platform. But if you'd rather preload your account with a specified budget and that's it, then you can do that by choosing manual budget. Kind of like that TikTok gives you that option, actually. Now you'll click the arrow button at the bottom of the page. If you choose manual payments, you'll be taken to this screen. You'll need to add a balance before you can run ads, of course. I'll show you what that looks like now. Click the Add Balance button at the bottom of the screen in that credit card looking box. You'll add your desired balance. You need to start with at least $10 here, and then you'll press Next. Review the total amount to make sure it's correct and choose whether you use a card or connect a PayPal account. Enter the card information or connect the PayPal account and click Submit. Now you can skip some of these steps and not preload your balance at this point. If you go right through and click Next, you'll get a warning message. That message will say your ads can only start delivery after you've added a payment method or topped up. Are you sure you want to skip to the next step? Choose Skip Now and then you'll be in your shiny new TikTok Ads Manager. Yay! Now that we're here, let's take a tour of the Ads Manager. Okay, now that we're in the Ads Manager, hopefully you're one step closer to TikTok virality. I'll briefly cover each section that we see here, and then after that, we'll set up ads. The Ads Manager here is similar to the Ads Manager on lots of other social media advertising platforms. So if you've used any of those, you'll probably be able to find your way around pretty quickly here. You really just need to familiarize yourself with the layout. Let's start on the top left. We have Dashboard, Campaign Assets with the drop-down menu, and Reporting. Let's look at these individually. Dashboard. This page is your go-to for a quick look at the health of your account. You'll be able to see your ad spend, activity, any ads that aren't currently running, and other important notifications about your ad performance. You'll notice a bright bar across the top here. This will show you any urgent news or any steps that you need to complete for your account. Below that, you've got today's spends, and can click payment for more info if you'd like to see that. You also have active ad information, and you can click log for full details there. If you haven't yet created an ad, you'll see this create ad button available for you here. Next to that will be any ads that are not currently delivering. Analytics is below this section, starting with trends. This gives you a view of how your ads are doing, how much they're costing, your cost per click, your impressions, your click-through rate, your conversions, etc. You can change the date range here to visually compare data over time. Scrolling down, you'll have campaign data and gender data, including cost. Next is placements and operating systems information. Let's look at campaigns now. This is where you'll create your campaigns, your ad groups, and your ads, and be able to see their overall performance. This is very similar to the Facebook Ads Manager, so if you're comfy there, you'll probably be pretty comfy here. Change default columns here. You have a ton of options like you do in Facebook. Show more campaigns per page, refresh, and export your report here. We'll go over how to create a campaign in detail a bit later, so I'm just going to glide over that for now. You can also bulk create and edit, change dates so that you can look at trends over time, and you can filter campaigns for more detailed analytics. Let's look at assets now. When you hover over assets, you'll see a drop-down menu with 4 options: event, creative, audiences, and comments. Clicking assets does nothing. Trust me, I tried it one too many times. So you want to click each individual item from the drop-down menu. Let's click through to each page to see what tools are available to us, starting with events. This is where you'll set up tracking information so that you can see accurate data and ad analytics. You'll choose to set up your app, or you'll choose to set up a tracking pixel here. I'll go over how to set up a tracking pixel a little bit later in this video. In Creative, you'll see different tabs for images, videos, playables, Spark ad posts, and instant forms. This is all of the creative that you're uploading to the app that you can use for your ads. Now let's click on Images. This tab houses all of the image assets that you've uploaded to the Ads Manager. You can upload new images by clicking on this blue button. After selecting your ads, you can use the drop-down next to the Upload button and select Edit or Delete. Change the date range on the upper right if you're looking at past ad performance. In the section below, you can filter images, search by name or keyword, select analytics columns, change how many show per page, and export the information. Let's click into videos. In this tab, similar to images, you'll manage all of the videos that you've uploaded to the Ads Manager. In the top left, you can upload or create, and you have the same edit and delete dropdowns as in the Images tab. On the top right, you can sort videos by date when you have a larger library. You may see some TikTok help suggested here. I encourage you to read through those when you can. Next, you can filter videos, search by name or ID, sort analytics columns, decide how many to show per page, and export the analytics. For playable ads, TikTok says, playable ads are interactive videos that allow you to showcase a preview of your app before someone downloads it. If you have a game or an app, this would be a great option for you. Let's look at Spark ad posts. To run these organic ads, you need to obtain TikTok post authorization. You can apply for authentication by clicking into the Spark Ads Post tab. Here's where you'll get your instant forms. When you run lead generation ads, you'll use instant forms to collect the information that you're asking for from your audience. When users click the CTA, which stands for call to action, the instant form opens up and they can enter in their information. Reporting is where you'll create and export your analytics reports to see how your ads are performing. You'll be dropped onto the Create page where you can choose which metrics to measure and for what time frame. This will create a custom report for you. I love that you can schedule this report to run daily, weekly, or monthly, and even have it sent to someone in particular. This will save you a lot of time. If you're not quite sure what to select and you want to use some templates from TikTok, they also have that option available for you. Click the reporting breadcrumb and use the drop-down to choose a custom report, which is what you just saw, or one of these templated options that's down here. On the top right, you have all of your account settings, notifications, and help center. Starting with the dropdown on the left, let's go over this. Accounts dropdown. If you have admin access to multiple TikTok accounts, you'll be able to switch between them easily here. You can also find your ad account ID here if you need to share that with an advertising partner or an agency or an employee in the future. If you want to change the display language, you can do so by clicking to the right of the accounts dropdown. Mine says English since that's the current default setting. You'll have a selection from these languages available to you. Let's look at user settings next. When you click on the U blob, which I wish was the official term for it, but it's fine, I'll live, you'll see a drop-down with some information and some options. When you click user settings, you see your user ID and logout option. In account settings, there are shortcuts to payment and account info directly below. In user settings, if you click user settings, you'll visit that page. When we click on account settings to look around, you'll see a new page open. When the new page opens, you'll see a left-hand navigation menu with these options: account setup, documents, payment, transactions, brand safety, and user settings. Account setup is where you can see account info, basic info, business information, privacy contact, permission management, which is where you can add users to your account, and your payment info. Documents is where you'll upload industry documents. These are documents needed for running ads in certain industries like healthcare or finance. Payment is where you can see your payment type and add funds to your account if applicable. You'll also be able to redeem promotional codes for any future advertising efforts that you have. Transactions is where you can see every time that TikTok has charged you for your ads. You'll probably need to check these for monthly, quarterly, or year-end reporting, so it's good to know where they're housed. Brand safety is where you can manage block lists to keep your content from appearing on places where you don't want your content appearing. Clicking user settings allows you to manage your personal info and notifications. Your personal info includes your username, email address, phone number, and password. Your notifications are managed on the next page. Toggle topics on or off here depending on your preferences. Now, the Business Center is this little briefcase icon, which I think is adorable. Now, this is similar to Facebook's Business Manager, but it's not quite as robust. If you haven't yet, you'll be prompted to create a business account. Enter the Business Center name, select your time zone, and upload a profile picture. This is optional. Then select Create. You'll see your newly created account in My Business Center. Select that account. You may see a welcome tour from TikTok when you get here. These are helpful, so if you're doing this live with me, I would recommend pausing the video and walking through that tour. Now, this is your place to manage users, assets, and other business settings. If you'd like to see a more detailed video on the TikTok Business Center in the future, leave me a comment that says TikTok Business Center, please. Notifications is represented by this little bell. If you hover over the notification bell, you'll see this navigation window pop up. You can choose to view notifications from these categories: all, issues, announcements, suggestions, tickets, Business Center, Asset Sync. You can also choose settings, the gear icon, mark all as read, or view all by clicking here. You'll see this tab open up, which is the first thing you see when you click the notification bell instead of using the navigation that I just showed you. Again, you can see notifications for all, issues, announcements, suggestions, tickets, Business Center, and Asset Sync. Subscriptions will help you manage notifications for your account. Hover over the question mark icon here to access detailed, helpful information compiled by TikTok. You can get help for any topic that you're struggling with and get all of the information from the best source, which is TikTok themselves, so I highly recommend it. Now that you're familiar with the Ad Manager and the Business Center, let's make your first ad on TikTok. First, we'll need to set up a campaign. Go to Campaigns in your Ads Manager. Click the blue Create button to start your campaign and ad creation process. Choose Simplified mode or Custom mode. I'll choose Simplified for this tutorial. Select your advertising objective and name your campaign. Click Continue. Before we move on to ad set details, let's talk about advertising objectives really quickly. When you're selecting your advertising objective, you're really just choosing the targeting and the budget that will be used to promote your ads, just like on other advertising platforms. If you choose website conversions, TikTok will show your ad to more people who are likely to buy. If you want traffic, they'll show your ad to people who are more likely to click, and etc. The objectives are excellent guides, so use those when you're deciding how to set up your ads. Now that you've chosen your objective, you're in Ad Set and you're making edits to the ad set instead of the campaign. This is where you'll choose your audience and your budget. So let's set up your ad set. Choose your ad group name, connect the tracking pixel to the ads. You should have this set up already. Choose your optimization event. You'll set these up in the Events Manager if you haven't already. These can be things like add to cart, page view, purchase, sign up, etc. Next, you'll select your placement. This will be automatic or manual, and your targeting. You can choose location, demographics, interests, and behaviors. Set your budget and your bid optimization. Set your cost per action cap here or choose lowest cost and TikTok will do the math for you. I like this option most for beginners. Press continue and now we're working on the individual ad creative. So we're almost ready to publish your first ad on TikTok. I'm super excited for you, so let's zoom through the last few steps because those are the last things standing between you and your TikTok ad. You'll upload an image or video or click in either box to browse. You can view recommended formats below the image uploader. You can also use creative assets that you've already uploaded or create something using assets that you already have on the platform by clicking here. You'll see that there are some template options available to you. On the right, you'll see a preview of every ad that your objective and your chosen placements allows. Click Publish when you're happy with how your ad looks. You did it. You created your first TikTok ad and now it's published and live in the world. I would watch this for a week or 2 weeks, see how it does, and think about what you're going to do next. This shouldn't be the only ad that you're running. Now, before we go, I want to go over some best practices for creating TikTok ads because it's not quite like any other platform that you've advertised on. As I mentioned before, using the same video that you use on YouTube or Instagram or your website is not going to do anything for you on TikTok. In the words of TikTok themselves, don't make ads, make TikToks. TikTok has really been pushing creators and marketers to focus on the spirit of the platform before they focus on making a really cool ad. But what does that even mean though? This is actually something that good marketers are already doing, but that's a different video for a different day. What TikTok means is this: don't just plop a 30-second TV commercial onto our platform and call it a day. A 30-second TikTok is different from a 30-second reel, which is different from a 30-second Facebook post, which is different from a 30-second ad on regular network television. The users on each platform or on each viewing are different from the users on the other platforms and viewings, and they have different needs in that moment. They're also drawn to different things, and they spend time watching different things on different platforms. So don't go about this with the idea that you're just going to promote your product or your brand and then get out. You should figure out how to fit your product and brand into a space on TikTok and how to make it make sense and feel natural. My next tip is to keep it short and focused on one topic or product. Yes, you can create longer videos on TikTok now. Up to 3 minutes, with TikTok also experimenting with even longer formats. But just because you can post longer video does not mean that you should. Especially if you're new to the platform, try to keep your first foray into TikTok advertising as quick and attention-catching as possible. Now remember, you should be creating a TikTok, not a product commercial. This means you should come up with a cool concept, find a popular song that makes sense, or come up with a fun trick before you figure out how to fit your product into it. Please don't try to use that 3 minutes to outline every single thing that your product or your service provides. Once you spend a little bit of time on the platform, I think you'll notice that that just won't fly, which leads me to my next tip for you. Join TikTok and use it. You may feel a little behind the curve if you're not already using the platform, but don't worry, you can catch up. Most people can begin to understand the platform and the differences in the interactions of the audience compared to other platforms in just a couple of weeks spent using the app for 15 to 20 minutes a day. Now that you're familiar with the TikTok Ads Manager, the Business Manager, you've created a TikTok ad, and you know best practices, you're ready to start brainstorming some ideas and get started creating.
Next, what I want to look at is I want to look at adding text with different durations for Instagram Reels and for TikTok videos. So it's really, really important to add text on Instagram Reels and TikTok videos for a couple of reasons. The first reason is that not everyone watches Reels or TikToks with sound on, right? If somebody's watching or playing around on Instagram or TikTok at work or in class or maybe at home while they're watching a TV show or a movie with their family and they don't want their spouse to catch them, then they'll watch Instagram or TikTok without the sound on, right? So it's really, really important to also add text. You know, if you're doing a video narration for a listing, say you have a listing on 123 Main Street, make sure to add 123 Main Street in text on your video as well. Now, these are two videos that show you how to do it and how to add that text with different duration on Instagram Reels and on TikTok videos as well.
Hey everyone, in today's Instagram video, I want to show you how to add disappearing text and change the text duration inside of Instagram Reel posts. If it's your first time here, I make easy to follow social media and tech videos every single day on this channel, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next Instagram update. I'm on my profile page of Instagram and I'm gonna press the plus sign over here and I'm going to press Reel here to make a Reel post. And here I could either upload from my phone or record. In this case, I'm going to record and I'll let it record for about 6 seconds here and let go. And I'm going to press the arrow to go to the next page. That's the page where we're going to add text. And to add text, all you have to do is press the double A icon right on top here. And I'm gonna press the A here to add a background to it. I'll press done. Now, let me make this a little bit bigger and let me add another text to show you what happens. And I'll move this one down right under that. So now I'm gonna show the first block first and then the second block right after that. So look on the bottom here. Can you is on that white box and solve this is on a different box. So depending on how many text boxes you have, they'll all show up over here. So to change the duration, select the first one here, and you could see from the start of it is this line right here. So if I just move my finger over, I could start this a little bit later. So I'll do that. And I could end it a little bit later. And I'll do that. So now you could see when it's transparent like this, that means it's not going to show, and then it's going to show here, and then it's going to go away. Now I'll go to the next one, solve this. Now I want this to start a little bit later. So over here, right after this one finishes, and I'll let it play all the way to the end. So I won't change the end line of this one. Now, all I have to do is make sure both of them are deselected. And there it is. Can you shows up and solve this shows up after that. If I want to extend can you to go through the whole video, I'll just select it down here one more time and I'll extend it over here, the beginning and the end. Let's watch that again. I'll deselect. And when you're done, you just press the arrow here to go to the final page, and you could write your caption and share it to Instagram Reels or Instagram Stories if it's less than 15 seconds. And that's how you change the duration of text inside of Instagram Reel. Hey everyone, in today's TikTok video, I want to show you how to add text inside of your TikTok video so it would animate in and out, basically changing the duration so it appears and disappears and it doesn't play out through the entire TikTok video. And if it's your first time here, I post easy to follow social media and tech videos every single day, so please consider subscribing. So this is a really useful TikTok option. So let me go back just to show you how to do it. So I have my 1 minute of my video here. I'm basically putting my videos from YouTube to do a 1 minute preview. That's the maximum length on TikTok right now. And then when I press next on top, it's gonna process my video and now I could add a text. So I'm gonna press the text option right here and I'm gonna type out my text. And I could basically just go ahead and style it however I want to. I'll just put a red background here. So I'm just pressing A for the background and I'll press the red option here and I'll press done. So now I'll just move it to where I want to. And now I want this text to show up a few seconds after the video starts. So now that I type my text and I press done, if I tap it, I'm gonna be able to edit it. That's gonna take me back to the typewriter, or I could set duration. Let me go ahead and press that and show you how to do that. So it says select sticker lasts for 59 seconds, the entire duration. But you see the endpoint here? You could change that so it will start a little bit later, and then maybe you could make it last only for a few seconds if that's what you want to do. You could do this with multiple text files as well. So I'm gonna let this one come in at the 3-second mark here, press check mark on the bottom. So now the video starts, this is the beginning of the video, and then the text comes in. Now, if I wanted to add another text file, I could do the same thing. Let me add a new text file. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the same background, press done, and I'll bring this one on the bottom. Now, people are gonna watch the video, and towards the end of the video, I'm gonna tap this set duration to come in toward the end of the video instead. So I'll just have this come for the last 15 seconds or so, and then press check mark. So now in the beginning of the video, the title is gonna come in a few seconds in, and I'm not gonna see the text on the bottom for quite a while till the end of the video. When I'm ready, I'm gonna press next, put the description for my video. And now that I completed everything here, I could just go ahead and press post on the bottom of the page. And now the video has been posted to my profile. So if I click on it right here, you see the title is gonna come on just now. And then on the bottom of the page, I'm gonna get the rest of it at the end of the video. And people could go ahead and tap my profile here and then go ahead and click here to go check out my YouTube to see the rest of the video just like that.
So the next aspect of adding on text to your videos on Instagram Reel or TikTok is adding auto captions on. So auto captions are sort of the same thing, right? Where rather than just adding 1 or 2 lines or disappearing text with different durations, it captures all of the spoken audio in your video. Now, this is important for a couple of reasons. Again, the number one reason is that a lot of people, probably about 50% of the time, don't watch Instagram Reels or TikTok videos with the sound on, right? They'll watch it with their sound off. So they'll need to read it to see what you are saying. And the second reason why it's really important is for accessibility reasons, is to make sure that anyone that might be hearing impaired can still watch your videos and understand what you are saying in your videos and what you're talking about in your videos. So it's really important to add text from that perspective. Now, there's also statistics that back it up. Adding captions increases impressions by about 55%. So if you add captions on your videos, you are going to see a huge increase in the number of people that are actually watching that video, right? So here are two easy ways that you can do it using Instagram Reels and TikTok videos.
Hey folks, it's Johnny Keeley here. Welcome to the video. In this one, I'm going to show you how you can very easily add captions to your Instagram Reels and how that will result in you getting more views. I'm also going to take this a step further and show you how you can further optimize the process to get even more views on your Instagram Reels. So you want to go to your Instagram app. In the top right corner, you're going to go to the plus button and you're going to hit, we're going to create a reel. Okay, so this will bring up a selfie. So I'm going to go testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2. Then I'm going to create a second clip to show you that the auto caption runs throughout. So testing 3, 4, testing 3, 4. So we got 2 clips on our reel so far. So we're going to go to preview and we're on the next screen. Now, it's important to note that my phone is turned down, but that audio is still playing on the reel. I just didn't want to have 2 versions of my voice in this video. Okay, so now what you do, see there's a sticker, third from the right with a little smiley face on it. You're going to hit that button and we're going to hit captions. Now that is now transcribing the audio and we have captions on it, but it doesn't stop there, okay? A lot of people use this one that you can see on the screen right now, and I find this one particularly frustrating and I skip off generally because the text disappears really fast and it's incredibly frustrating, and anything that frustrates a proportion of your viewers will result in people swiping away, which will reduce the amount of reach that your post gets. But luckily there are different versions. There's this version, there is another one here which is like a typewriter effect, but it does control the pace that the viewer can read, and that's what frustrates people. So personally, I prefer this one here. It's nice and simple. You can put it at the bottom where people are used to, and then you can also add effects here and change colors. So for example, we could have it like this and really get it to sort of really stand out. So now you can see here that the caption is showing all the way through and it's showing on both clips with us only adding one instance of the captions. But how does this result in more viewers? You know, there's no magic going on here, there's no crazy Instagram algorithm hacks. But what's happening is many people are watching Reels with the sound off. I couldn't find any solid data on it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's somewhere near half. You know, I don't watch it with the sound on. So what I'm saying is by adding captions automatically to the videos where you're speaking to the camera, you could be stopping somewhere near half of your viewers from jumping off. And if you're getting more people watching your videos all the way through, well, that will result in more views because you're getting more engagement, better analytics, and Instagram will see that and start pushing it onto more people. And we know that Instagram are really pushing Reels at the moment and they're getting incredible reach. But we can take this one step further, okay? So what's happening here, really? We are adding text to a video. That's what's happening. It's auto captioning our voice, but what's happening is we are adding text to a video. Now, if you were going to add text to any video that you've made, you would probably think carefully about what that text was going to say. You wouldn't just, you know, quickly type it. You would think about it beforehand. So if we're adding text to a video from our speech, we should probably think about what we're going to say beforehand, because those opening bits of text is going to be the deciding factor of whether someone swipes away or not. It doesn't matter if you create something brilliant, you know, 4 seconds in. If they're not engaged straight away, the majority of people will swipe. That is the painful truth of video in 2021, nearly 2022. Okay, let's give you 2 examples, okay? So I'll hit record on the phone again. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and we're recording. So let's record a reel here, okay? Hey, welcome to my reel. I'm just going to tell you a few things. Okay, so we've just done the worst thing we could possibly do by actually just announcing what we're about to do rather than just getting straight into it. So we're going to transcribe the audio and we'll look at what that actually says. Hey, welcome to my reel. You know, not terribly exciting in my opinion. So what we'll do is we will do that again and we'll change it to say, something like, "You're never going to guess what's happening right now." Okay, we'll say that instead. So let's just see what that looks like. We'll add captions. "You're never going to guess what's happening right now." Okay, so that's a dramatic example, and that is me kind of clickbaiting people into it a little bit. But the point I'm trying to make is those opening words are important. So if you know that this is what you're going to do when you're going to add captions, just take a breath and think about what it is that you're going to say in those opening few words, because that is the big text that someone's going to see when they immediately go onto your reel. And that could be, you know, the difference between your reel just showing to your followers, or maybe it reaching outside of your followers, which is what we're looking for. So this is another interesting thing. Okay, if we were to speak while the camera is facing the other way, you know, 1, 2, check, 1, 2, this is me testing my reel auto captions. So if we now check that, okay, so I'm going to preview it and I'm going to add auto captions. Hold on. You see, it's captured the audio. And I thought this could be a really good way of adding text to videos, but unfortunately, when we control the volume, as it gets to the bottom, the captions disappear. I presume that this is so that you can add voiceover and the two don't interrupt when you try and add auto captions. But a little frustrating, but I kind of get why they did that. So that was super easy, probably definitely worth you hitting the like button on this video. And if you're creating Instagram Reels, make sure you say hi to everyone in the comments so we can all come and check out your account. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.
Hey everyone, this is Grace from Kapwing, and I've got some good news for creators. TikTok has finally started rolling out one of the most requested features of all time, which is auto captions. The feature will essentially transcribe what you're saying in your videos automatically and display them on the screen as captions, which is a huge win for making content more accessible and able to be heard and enjoyed by many people regardless of their hearing ability or whether the location you're watching in is noisy or not. Another big win is that you won't have to do this yourself. You won't have to spend so much time just typing out every single word you're saying in your videos to display on screen and timing out the text boxes, which can be so frustrating. So in this video, I'm going to show you where to exactly find the feature, how to use it, and to be honest, there are a bunch of limitations to it right now. So I'm also going to show you another way for adding captions automatically to any video and TikToks. So to add auto captions to your TikToks, first obviously go to TikTok, then you're going to go and make a video like normal, the plus button at the very bottom. You're basically going to hit that red button, record your video or upload your file from your photos. Then once you've recorded your video, click that red check mark button. Get to that page where you can add things like text and music and the other filters and things. On the right side, there will be a little drop-down arrow. Click that arrow and there should be a button that says captions. If you don't see that captions option yet, it's because TikTok is still rolling out this feature. Not everyone has it yet, so be patient. It'll probably get to you in the next couple of weeks or months. So click that captions button. It will immediately start uploading and processing the audio, and then it will display the captions for what you're saying. You can click that little pencil icon, and that will allow you to go in and edit the captions. So you can change words around, add in different words, and then you can play each section just to hear what it sounds like and write it out. So this is definitely a step up from having to type out all the text and time it out yourself. It basically does that part for you, and then you just correct that. Once you're happy with them, you can click save and then save again. And in terms of how you can display the captions, there's not much customizability with this. You can basically only just move the captions up and down over the screen. You can see that there's like borders that you have to stick to, these blue lines. And that's about it for actually changing how they appear on your video. You can't change the fonts or anything. It's literally just the location of the captions on the screen. When you're filming your video, you might want to also take note of this and think about beforehand where you're gonna put those captions and arrange your composition of your video accordingly. Then once you are happy with your captions, click next, and then that's just the regular posting page where you can fill out your description and post your video. Now this is how a viewer would see your video. The captions will show up where you place them on the screen. If you want to turn them off for a video, you can click the 3 dots and then there should be an option that says captions, and then you'll be able to turn them off there. And it says that if you want to turn off captions for all videos, you can go to your settings in the accessibility menu and change that. Another limitation is that this is basically like YouTube captions, where when you're watching on YouTube, you can turn them on or off and have them display on the screen, but the captions aren't burned into the video file itself. If you download this video that you have captions on and go view it in your camera roll, the captions are gone, they're not there. I know a lot of people like to take their TikToks and post them in other places, so in that case, you're going to have to either rely on typing out text or use another tool to auto caption your videos. And one option for that is using Kapwing. This is our online video editor. It's completely in the browser, so you don't have to download any apps. You can do it on your phone or computer or tablet, any device, because it just works on the internet. Just click the first link in the description below at the top of the description, then make a new project, and you can just immediately upload your videos. So you can either upload something from your files, or you can just paste a link. So TikTok link or YouTube link will work. I'm just gonna go from my photo library, and then that video will start loading into the editor. And then in the top bar, there will be a bunch of different options, and one of them will say subtitles. Go all the way down, you can just click the auto generate button. Then you can choose your video language. If you want to transcribe into a different language, you can click this box and then choose the language you want the captions to be displayed in. So if your video is spoken in English, but you want the captions to show as Spanish, you can do that like this. But I'm just gonna keep the transcription in English because I'm speaking English, and then just click the auto generate button. After a few moments, your captions should be done. If you go to the bottom, you'll see that each line is associated with the text itself and then a set time. You can go into those lines and edit the words, and you can also change the bar for how long you want the caption to stay on the screen. Then you can go up here, and then there's different options for how the captions will actually appear. You can change the size, fonts, the background, and colors. And then once you're happy with how they look, click the done button at the bottom. You'll go back to the main editor where you can add things like text, images, other audio like music, or elements like a progress bar, and then once you're ready to download your video, click the red export video button. Your project will load for a few moments, and then your video will be done. You can see that the captions are there, and you can save your video by clicking the download button, then download again, go to the top right corner, and then click your project, and click the bottom left corner button, and then click save video. And now that video will be in your camera roll. You can place it wherever you want, including TikTok, but also other places, and the captions will be there in the exact format you wanted them to look.
Right, so finally, we are looking at repurposing TikTok for Reels. You might think, I only want to record one video, so I am just gonna reshare the TikTok video that I used on this one property and just use it on my Instagram reel as well. I don't want to say the same thing twice. I don't want to record this video twice. I don't want to have to go through the same thing all over again, which is totally okay, right? There's not enough hours in the day to do everything that we should be doing. Never mind just the marketing, but the actual selling and working with clients, all that stuff, right? There's not enough time in the day. So repurposing content is totally fine. However, if you are repurposing a TikTok for Instagram Reels, then Instagram algorithms don't work well with repurposed videos that have the TikTok watermark on them. So if you see any TikTok video, it'll have the watermark of the TikTok logo and your username underneath it, right? But if you use that exact same video, it'll export from TikTok still having that watermark on it. And then when you put it on to Instagram, then the Instagram algorithm just doesn't work well with any sort of video that has that TikTok watermark on it. So you can remove it. You can use this website, which is snaptik.app/en. You go to that website, and you upload your TikTok video, then it'll download it and it'll remove the watermark. So make sure that if you are reusing that content, again, which is totally okay, that you are just going through that one extra step so that it will perform better on any of your Instagram posts as well. All right, so that's it for today. This is actually a pretty fun lesson because it's getting into the non-technical side of marketing. It's getting into the actual content creation, which I find really, really enjoying. And, you know, like I always say, if you have any questions, then definitely feel free to let me know. If you have some great examples that you want to share with me, let me know. If you are seeing, you know, some challenges, then definitely feel free to let me know as well. And I'd be happy to try to help walk through those challenges with you. So that's it for today. Thanks again for your time. And once again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know.